In today's video, I'm going to be looking at ticker symbol INTC, also known as Intel, and the US government has just decided to acquire a 10% stake. And we're going to be asking the question, is this now a safe stock? And for MMTLP, following on from the previous video, we're going to provide an update on the question, or rumour should we say, did Danish investors get $1,500 per share? And we're also going to be looking at an important update from Nexbridge Hydrocarbons with regard to securing additional funding. So good news there. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see the Dow Jones was up 700 points as Powell did signal a policy adjustment, in other words a potential reduction in interest rates. So we have seen a good reaction in the markets, and we can see there is a shifting balance of risk, and that may mean adjustment in the interest rate. We've also had GDP growth, and that has slowed. Consumer spending has also slowed. So however, the tariffs are clearly the risk factor in terms of inflation. But overall, the signs are now looking positive for the market. And other news in terms of stock news, Trump did state earlier, breaking news shared in the Discord, that TikTok can continue in the United States. So let's have a look at the heat map for today, and we can see here there is a good recovery in, especially in AI stocks, technology sector, communications, financial, and health there. So a good overall green day. And in terms of stock news also shared live in the Discord, we can see one of the stocks previously featured in the video and in the Discord, ticker symbol OPEN, also known as Open Door Technologies, has had a good day today, up over 40% at opening and going well, trading at $5.05. And in terms of a shout out to the Discord and the weekly watch list, we had some great calls in the previous week, including OUST up nearly 30%, BTI up over 26.5%, TEM up over 22%, LMND up over 17%, VVPR up over 14.6%, and many more. So if you'd like to get the next weekly watch list, which will be shared prior to trading on the Monday, details are in the description below. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share details of the Trading Secrets Discord. This includes daily stock alerts shared in the pre-market, the weekly watches shared prior to trading on the Monday, the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. So we also have had some tremendous calls in the weekly watch list, as well as the daily stock alerts, and these include LEAES up over 152% on the week, DOMH up over 210% on the week, IGTI up over 77% on the week, and many more. We have a new channel called Top Ranked Stocks DD, and this includes PDF reports which you can download and use for research and due diligence. Obviously you can join us in live trading chat as well. We've just had a $2,000 Discord update, which includes breaking news for stocks, including bio stocks, earnings, analyst ratings, Reddit news, why the stock is moving, and much more. And as well as that, you can join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we look at compound return investing and 201 trades. And just a reminder of the power of compounding. If you have 1 cent, you double that for 30 days, you would have over $5 million, but we are using a strategy of just a 3.5% return. Let's have a look at the positive news for Intel and ask the question, is this now potentially a safe stock? So from CNBC, the headline is, Intel stock rises as Trump has stated the chip maker has agreed to sell a stake to the US government. So this is positive news, especially for Intel, and we can see the key points here is the US government is looking to acquire a 10% stake in the struggling chip maker Intel. So the long-term chart for Intel is down from the obviously the all-time highs, but let's have a look at how it's currently trading today. At time of editing, a great day for the market in terms of Intel, up over 6.13%, very close to the $25 mark. But we also have a look at the year to date. We can see the momentum is quite volatile, and currently up over 24.39%. However, over the previous long term, it is quite down quite significantly. So let's have a look at what happened. So the shares are up quite significantly. What President Trump has stated is he's looking to acquire 10% of the company, and the market cap for Intel is approximately $100 billion. So obviously there's going to be ongoing decisions, and I think as far as Intel are concerned, they have yet so far declined to comment on the specifics of this, but obviously there was also good news in terms of another backer, and that was SoftBank, that stated it would make a $2 billion investment in the chip maker, which is approximately 2% of the company. One of the key concerns with regard to Intel is obviously seen as lagging TSM. However, on a positive side for Intel is it's a US company, and obviously it's going to be spending billions of dollars. It's now got the backing of the US government, and there is also an $8 billion CHIPS grant under the Chips and Science Act, which the company can certainly benefit from. So if we have a look at other news shared, like also in terms of stock trading, especially from a Congress point of view, we can see that it has been traded 13 times in the past 6 months. And the question is, did many of these Congress people know that there was going to be a potential government deal? So we don't really know the truth of that. But let's now finish off by having a look at the question, why could the government stake in Intel prove to be a positive sign? So certainly, obviously, it will help with international trade. There is certainly not going to be the threat or worry or fear of sanctions. And experts can also anticipate capital infusion with regard to this political backing. It's still $100 billion company, and it's also signaling a broader commitment to reshoring the semiconductor production, and obviously Intel will be seen as a strategic national asset. So obviously there are concerns overall in terms of the profit making, the long-term chart, and the long chart, and also the long-term valuation. But I certainly think now it's much more good news than bad news for Intel, and certainly worth looking at for a long-term investment. So I've got the latest updates for MMTLP, and I shared a post earlier with regard to Nexbridge hydrocarbons, and they secured $6 million in extra funding through a private equity debt financing. They're going to use some of the capital to meet funding commitments required to participate in the drilling. So let's have a look at the details of this, and from the PR we can see here, dated August 21st, 2025, they're confirming the raise of $6 million through private equity debt financing, and they're also going to release a forthcoming 8K to confirm this. So what they have said is in terms of using the funds, these are going to be partly used in drilling and completion of the working interest in the Panther projects, and that will begin approximately in the fourth quarter of 2025. As well as that, there is also going to be an additional use of the funds, and that is going to be for debt obligation in the principal amount of $2 million, as well as general corporate and accounting purposes. So this is going to include obviously cost of restating prior filings, and I think that is referring to the S1, as well as costs associated with previously disclosed litigation. None of the funds are going to be used for repayment of any debts owed by the Nexbridge hydrocarbon chairman Greg McCabe. So I think that is something that he's making certainly very clear. So overall, that is positive news. So let's have a look at a reaction from Jen, who's tagged in a so-called expert by the name of Jeff Davies, the energy OG. So I'm not sure what kind of OG he is, but what Jen has stated is he stated obviously he thought that Nexbridge hydrocarbon was bankrupt. So we have a clown emoji, which may well be very appropriate for Jeff, who stated no beans to spill, it's over, McCabe quit. He's got sources, and people know that you just are not telling people. So I'm not sure what kind of sources that he has. It may be ketchup sources, but I think Jeff is certainly fallen flat on his feet there. And what I'd now like to do is provide an update from the previous video with regard to a post from Danielle, who talked about potentially rumours with regard to Danish regulators paying off investors $1,500 per share. So there is an update on that. So what I would like to say is that Danielle has reached out, and what she said to me in one of her messages to me personally is that she says obviously this is she doesn't have an affidavit on this, she doesn't have evidence, and she doesn't have confirmation or anything concrete on this, and would like to have this obviously corrected and clarified. So she's also posted as well, and she states here she's obviously appreciating people reaching out, and she states again, does not have evidence of any Danish investor having paid this money being paid this money by the brokers, but obviously she apologizes for the post. However, she believes there was statements on X stating this. However, it's also stated that she will not be able to use this in any upcoming legal action. So that's just a clarification from the previous video. And finally, if you would like to join us in the Discord, get a copy of the weekly watch list, as well as join us in the challenge and get a copy of the daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.